Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy New Year. We hope you had a lovely holiday season and that you are feeling excited and ready to come to London in just a few short weeks. We are really looking forward to welcoming you. And on behalf of the entire Global Opportunities team, my name is Jen, and I'm going to give you some information today to help you get ready and best prepare for your time abroad with us. So we'll cover a lot of topics, and I hope that you find this helpful, informative, and exciting. This is our entire team. You may have talked with some of us already over email over the course of the last several months in preparation for your time abroad. We are all going to be present in London to help you get acclimated, welcomed to campus. We have an in-person office located in the Graduate Center at the Mile End campus, and we welcome you to come in and chat with us at any time during the semester if you need anything at all, but particularly in those first few days and weeks as you get settled, we'll be available for you during business hours. In order for us to best help you, we want to set some expectations about what your experience will be like while you're a study abroad student with us and what you can do to help yourself have the best possible experience. First and foremost, you hopefully have already noticed that we have been sending you lots of information via the Countdown to Queen Mary newsletter. This has been being sent out via email to all of our spring 2024 offer holders. So hopefully you have been reading those emails in detail. Specifically, we have recently sent out an arrivals guide, which will be very helpful for you to read prior to your arrival in London. So please take the time to do so. Please continue to read any and all communications from our team that you will continue to get between now and your arrival to campus. We will also continue to send you communications by email throughout the course of your semester with relevant information and helpful tips about the local area. So please do continue to read those. If ever there is a request in an email for you to act upon something, please do reply to that email promptly with the required information. Please also know that you are one of many students in a record-breaking cohort. We are welcoming an extremely big study abroad cohort this semester of nearly 700 associate students. You are all coming to us from every corner of the world, from universities of all shapes and sizes, and we are so excited to welcome each of you. But what that means is that with a large cohort, there might be a little bit of a delay in our response time. There's only so many of us and many more of you. So please have patience with us as we respond to each and every email that students send us over the coming weeks leading up to arrival and in the first days and weeks on campus. But with that said, just because there's a lot of you, please don't be shy to ask questions, to reach out to us in person or by email. Be responsible for your own experience. If you have questions, we're not magical mind readers, so you have to ask your question in order for us to best assist you. So please do so over the course of the semester. First and foremost, before you get to campus, it is very important that if you have not done so already, that you accept your admission offer from Queen Mary. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you have already done so, but just in case you have not accepted your offer, please follow these helpful screenshots on the screen here. You can log in to your Queen Mary online portal, which is called MySys, and you will be able to click on the big red tile that says respond to offer. From there, you can accept your offer. You cannot move forward with attending Queen Mary and studying abroad with us unless you accept your offer. Similarly, if you're watching this and you, for some reason, have changed your mind about your plans to study abroad with us, it is imperative that you decline your offer and that you also let us know in writing by email if you do not plan to come study with us in January. If you're watching this and you know you've already accepted your offer, there's nothing further you need to do at this time. If you're someone who is a conditional offer holder, this means that you were given a conditional offer of admission that was contingent upon some type of item or document or requirement being met prior to arrival. Please be sure that you have submitted any of those documents that support your conditional offer in order for us to change your offer from conditional to unconditional. If you have any questions about the status of your offer or you're unsure if you have accepted or not, please just give us an email and we're happy to help. Hopefully you all were able to engage in the module pre-registration task, which was open in November of 2023. Please rest assured that there will be additional time for you to add and drop modules. We have a 3-week-long add and drop period, which will open in January after you arrive to campus. We will discuss this in much greater detail at our in-person on-site orientation on the 15th of January. But in the meantime, some things for you to keep in mind are that if you've considered making changes during the add drop period, please be sure that you have done research as necessary for any classes that might be of interest to you and that you have obtained any necessary pre-approval from your home institution in order to take that coursework here at Queen Mary. You might have been interested in looking at your timetables. Timetables have further information available online, and we have linked information about where to find your timetables in previous editions of Countdown to Queen Mary. So please be sure to check that out if you have questions about where to find your timetable. We will also send out further information about this leading up to your arrival. Please note that your final exam timetables will not be released until about the midway point of the semester, so roughly the middle of March. This means that you will not know your personal final examination timetable until that time in mid-March. Therefore, when you're planning what time you're going to depart London at the end of the program, we advise that you not make plans to leave London any earlier than the day after the last day of the final examination period. In this case, for the spring 2024 semester, that would mean the 1st of June 2024 would be the earliest day we recommend that you plan to depart from London. Please make sure you plan your departure travel accordingly. For arrival to campus, if you are someone who is living in our Queen Mary campus housing, either at Mile End or at 1 Poole Street, please know that campus move-in weekend is the 13th and 14th of January. Please refer to your individual housing contract that was sent to you via email by Housing Services, as this will indicate the earliest possible move-in date. And if you have an earlier move-in date listed than the 13th or 14th, you are welcome to arrive on those days should you wish, as listed in your contract, or you can wait until the 13th or 14th to arrive. We will have members of our staff available at both the Mile End campus and the 1 Poole Street housing location to welcome you and help move you in on the 13th and 14th of January. Please also see on the screen that there is a link to our key dates page, which will give you the dates of importance for the entire semester. So please do be sure to check those out if you are unsure about any important dates throughout the course of the semester. Because you're such a large cohort of students and because you're arriving to us from all different locations around the world at varying dates, we do not provide one airport shuttle to get from any of the London airports to campus. This means that you will be responsible for getting yourself to the Queen Mary campus on your arrival day. So please do be sure to consult the arrivals guide, which is linked here on the screen, to see some of our recommendations about how to get to campus. You can also, of course, utilize other internet resources to see how you might best choose to get to campus based on the location you're arriving and how quickly you desire to get there. We've also sent out by email the Welcome Week schedule. This will entail everything that will be happening during the week of the 15th of January. On the 15th of January, there will be a mandatory all-student in-person orientation at the Mile End campus. Every study abroad student is expected to attend this orientation, so do plan to be there. The rest of that week, from the 16th through the 19th of January, will include lots of other optional activities for you to participate in that are social in nature, as a way for you to get to know other associate students and other full-time degree-seeking students at the university as well. So we hope to see you there. When you're thinking about getting ready for your time in London, you might be coming from a part of the world that has a similar climate to London, or it might be vastly different than what you're used to at this time of the year. Not to worry, London has a relatively temperate climate, all things considered, and by that we mean that you won't really see extreme cold nor extreme heat during the time of the year that you're with us. Do be sure to check seasonal temperatures as a guide for when you're packing to see what might be most comfortable to you. But in general, we recommend that you pack a range of clothing that has some mid to lightweight layers. Some sort of waterproof outer layer might be helpful for you, as well as comfortable walking shoes. If walking is accessible to you and of interest to you, London is a very walkable city, and it's a great place to see sights on foot. Please also note that much of the UK and Europe, including our campus residence halls, does not have central air conditioning. This is simply because in many cases, the architecture just predates the technology of central air conditioning. So please do be sure to factor this in accordingly. Rest assured that there is central heating in all of the Queen Mary buildings. Other than clothing, things to consider for packing are documentation. If you are a student that requires any type of immigration visa in order to enter the United Kingdom, be sure that you bring any and all relevant documents with you in your hand luggage, your carry-on luggage, and not in your checked luggage. That way you have access to it upon arrival at the gates of immigration. If you have any type of prescription medication, additionally, be sure to keep that with you in your hand luggage rather than your checked luggage so you have easy access to it upon arrival if needed. Please also keep in mind that it is likely that your home country might have a electronic difference from the United Kingdom. So it is likely that your devices will have a different shaped outlet than the UK outlets, and that they might work on a different electric current. So please do be sure to look into the appropriate type of voltage adapters and converters from your home country to the United Kingdom. Please also keep in mind that if you plan to do any travel outside of the United Kingdom on your free time, that there might be differences between the UK and other countries in mainland Europe as well, so do plan accordingly. Finally, pack lightly. All of our wonderful public transportation stations, they're not all fully accessible. And what we mean by this is they don't all have a escalator or elevator. This is unfortunately also the case at the two tube stations that are physically closest to the Queen Mary campus. You will have to take a flight of stairs to exit the tube and get up to street level. So do be sure that whenever you're packing, you are mindful of the fact that you might have to carry your belongings by yourself up a flight of stairs. On that note, speaking of public transportation, we're very fortunate to have an extremely excellent public transportation system in London. The Underground, which is affectionately known as the Tube, is a system that connects all of London and the surrounding areas. In addition to the Tube, there are also a wide variety of buses that exist across London, as well as many overground trains that go further out into different parts of England and the broader United Kingdom. You can even take a train to Paris from London, for example. So there is a wide variety of accessible public transportation right at your fingertips. Outside the gates of the Mile End campus, there are two different tube stations, one in each direction. So it's very easy to get anywhere you would like to go. Right around the corner from the Mile End campus, there's also a bus station that has multiple different bus lines that you can take to different parts of the city. It's important to note that for payment of the public transportation system, you cannot use physical cash. So you can't use paper money or coins to pay for your rides. You'll need to use a contactless method, such as a credit or debit card, or a smart pay option, like a card attached to your smartphone or a smartwatch. Please do keep in mind that depending on what country you are coming from, there is likely to be some type of potential international transaction fees for your specific bank or credit card company. So do be sure to do your individual research with your banks and credit cards to see what these fees might be when you're planning accordingly for your financial time abroad. Another method that you can use to pay for the public transportation system is an Oyster card. This is a card that's plastic and looks like a credit card that you can top up with money as little or as much as you want, as many times as you need throughout the course of the semester. This is a helpful thing because you can register your Oyster card in the event it ever gets lost or stolen, and it can be replaced with the balance by the Transport for London system. When you're using any type of public transportation, with that payment method that you're using, whatever kind of card it might be, remember to tap in and tap out when you enter and exit the system. This is how they know how much to charge you for each ride, and there can be fines associated with forgetting to tap in or tap out of the system. And then finally, as a small cultural note, if you are on an escalator in a station, make sure that you are standing on the right and walking on the left to give people room who might want to be hurriedly going up and down the escalators. Regarding safety in London, we're very happy to report that students always say they feel safe on our campus, and we have been voted the safest Russell Group campus in London. However, there's some important tips that you can use to stay safe despite this. First and foremost, always carry your student ID on you. You will receive your Queen Mary student ID during Welcome Week. This is important because if you live in our campus housing, you will need this ID card to enter the buildings. And regardless of if you live in Queen Mary campus housing or not, you will always need your Queen Mary student ID to enter campus in the evenings because we have a secure campus, and so there will be 24/7 campus security who checks your student ID in the evening to see if you're a member of the campus community in order to enter campus. If you live in our campus housing, and honestly, even if you don't live in our campus housing and you're living in private accommodation, please always keep your housing locked. Not that anything has ever happened, but this prevents any potential incidents and keeps all of your possessions safe and secure. On our campus, as I mentioned, we have 24/7 campus safety and security teams, and we also have CCTV, which is very common throughout London, the United Kingdom, and broader Europe. If you're out and about off campus and you see anything that is concerning to you, just move away from the situation if it is safe to do so. You can also always report incidents to the TfL, which is the Transport for London public transportation staff, if you see anything on transit. You can also report things to the local police. Both of these groups are very recognizable. They have very recognizable uniforms. So if you need anything, you are welcome to go up to them at any time. Additionally, we advise using the buddy system. Of course, you can go places alone, absolutely, but we do always advise that you go somewhere with a friend, especially if you're going out in the evening to have a drink or have a dance. Be also mindful in touristy areas of potential petty theft. Be aware of where your wallet, purse, phone, backpack are at all times. This is a bird's eye view of our Mile End campus. This will be your home away from home. So whether you are living in our campus accommodation or not, this is where you will spend a lot of your time, as all of your classes will take place on the Mile End campus. If you are someone who is taking any coursework in medicine or law, you might potentially have a few of your classes in an alternate location, but that has been made clear, will be made clear to you in your personalized timetables, giving you the exact location of exactly where your classes will take place. But for the vast majority of our students, all of your classes will take place here on our Mile End campus. As you can see, this is quite a condensed area. It takes about a maximum of 15 minutes to walk across the entire campus from end to end, and that's if you're walking quite slow. So it's very condensed. All of your academic buildings are up here in this triangular shaped area, and much of our student housing is down here in this rectangular shaped area. Although we do have some student housing in nearby locations, such as across the street or just down the road in Stratford at One Pool Street. You will have information about where your specific housing is in your housing contract letter. If you have visited London or have seen it in pop culture, you might be familiar with some of these skyline buildings here. This area of London is what some people would refer to as the city center or the downtown of London. But I would argue that London has many neighborhoods and many downtowns, and you'll come to get to know lots of them during your time in the city, I hope. But this area is about a mile to the east of our campus. We are located in what's called the east end of the city. So we are on the east side of the city center of London. So it's very quick and convenient for you to commute to anywhere in the city that you might want to go via public transportation. Right here near the bottom of the screen, as one boundary of our campus, we have Regent's Canal. This is a canal that is pedestrian-only walkways on either side. It's a very great place to take a walk or a bike ride at all seasons. You can walk a few minutes up the canal and get to Victoria Park, which is a lovely, well-maintained park with a farmer's market, lots of green space. It's a good place to spend some time on the weekends and get some fresh air. This image here is another view of that canal, as I mentioned. So you can see that there are people enjoying a bike ride on the canal here. As I mentioned earlier with campus housing, if you are someone who was eligible to apply to live in campus housing and you did apply by the deadline, you will have received information about your placement or your status on a wait list. So please do refer to your personal email and information from the housing services team. If you are living on our campus housing, it's a fully immersive experience. This means that you'll be living with other study abroad students from all around the world, as well as our full-time degree-seeking students who are in their first year of study at Queen Mary, and those students are from all around the world as well. Depending on the building, you will have 4 to 9 other students in your flat. A flat is a section of the floor where you will have shared spaces with your flatmates. So all flatmates will share a kitchen and dining area and some living space, but all of our bedrooms in campus housing are single private bedrooms. So you will have your own bedroom regardless of what building you're living in. And in many cases, you will have a private ensuite bathroom as well. You can look at your individual housing assignment and your contract, and you can refer to the link here on the screen to see photos and images and videos of all of our housing availability. On the Mile End campus, we have laundry facilities, coffee shops, a full gym, a zero waste shop, and some convenience stores. So there's a lot easily accessible to you regardless of what building you live in. We also have a campus dining hall at the Mile End campus. It is linked here on the screen. Meal plans are not included in your program fee, but should you wish to optionally participate in a meal plan, I have linked that here for your review. As I mentioned earlier, we also have accommodation available at 1 Poole Street, which is linked here for your review. This is an accommodation that's located 1 tube station further east of campus at Stratford. It is a quick commute from the 1 Poole Street to our Mile End campus, anywhere from 20-ish minutes, depending on how quickly you're moving. And it is very easily accessible to the Stratford West End Mall, Westfield Mall, which is one of the largest shopping malls in all of Western Europe. It's also very close to the site of the 2012 Olympic grounds, which is located at Stratford. So it is also a nice place for you to live and be nearby to campus. I mentioned the East End is where our campus is located. London is a very large and very diverse city, and there are people who come from all parts of the world for all reasons to London, but particularly this area of the city has always been one of the most diverse parts of the city. It's historically an immigrant hub and still remains so to this day. When you walk around the East End, you will hear every single language other than English. You will see all sorts of unique markets from parts of the world that you may or may not have ever visited before. You will see all sorts of religions practiced in the East End. It is very much a global melting pot, and we really love that that is the backdrop for your study abroad experience, and we hope that you take advantage of meeting people who are different than you. Today, in many ways, it is a very up-and-coming place, a very bustling place, very artistic, very creative, lots of small businesses popping up. So it's just a very unique place for you to have your study abroad experience. Nearby campus on foot, there is pretty much anything you could want or need for a daily basis in terms of grocery shops, restaurants, coffee shops, pubs, etc. I mentioned that we have the canal and the parks nearby. I've also listed on the screen some of my personal favorite areas of the broader East End neighborhoods, but this is certainly a non-exhaustive list, so do be sure to check out the East End and spend time in your local neighborhood while you are with us. Academically at Queen Mary, we have 14 different schools. For example, the School of English and Drama or the School of Biological and Behavioral Sciences. Within every school, there is a study abroad coordinator to help you with anything you might need, such as questions during the add drop period, tech questions, contacting your teaching faculty, etc. Depending on what country you are joining us from, it is likely that your academic system might be different than that of the United Kingdom. There is a large focus in the UK on independent study time. You likely will spend less time in the classroom than you're used to at home. This is because the professors expect you to take a lot of time individually every week of the semester to be studying your coursework in preparation for the final examination. This is also something that might be different than your home country, where potentially you might have many things that determine your final grade or your final mark in a class. But in the UK and at Queen Mary, in most all instances, the only thing that will determine your final grade or your final mark in the class will be your final examination. So it is crucial that you are studying independently, little by little throughout the semester, leading up to that final examination. Your final examination might look like a different format depending on the class itself, so please do be sure to consult your syllabi to see what your final examination might look like. Queen Mary has a students' union, which is an organization by students for students that has an elected student board that oversees all of our clubs, societies, organizations, and events on campus. We have over 300 different clubs and societies you can join that range all sorts of different topics and interest areas. So chances are that if you enjoy doing something at your home institution, we probably have a club or an organization that does a similar thing at Queen Mary. And also, this could be a chance for you to do something new. So maybe you have a topic you want to explore a little bit more, consider joining that group at Queen Mary as a way to get involved in a new community and make some new friends. During Welcome Week, we will be sure to connect you with the Students' Union via different activities fairs so that you can see what's going on in our campus community. In addition to activities, we have a wide variety of student support services to help you during your time at Queen Mary. Those that you see listed here on the screen are not exhaustive of all the services available to you, but there are some that are most commonly utilized by our associate students. Each of these is linked, so you are welcome to refer to the slides and click on these if you want more information. In brief, we have support for visa and immigration queries via a team that is international immigration experts. We have a disability and dyslexia services team who provide support in the means of academic accommodation or housing accommodation or physical accommodation, anything that will make your experience more equitable and comfortable. We have mental and emotional well-being support through our advice and counseling team. We have a student health services location on campus for any potential physical health, illness, or injury needs that you might have. And we have a multi-faith center. Queen Mary itself is not a religious institution, but we recognize that there are students coming to us from all around the world from a variety of faith backgrounds. So at this multi-faith center, we have a religious leader from all the major world religions available to meet with students. And if you're looking for a local place to worship your religion, they can help you find that. We also have spaces here for prayer, meditation, washing, and there are lots of interfaith dialogues that take place in this space. We are so excited to meet you. We hope you have a safe journey to campus and that you are enjoying these final moments getting ready before your big adventure. So please don't hesitate to ask us between now and arrival if you have questions. Our email address is listed here on the screen, study-abroad@qmul.ac.uk. We would also love for you to follow us on our Instagram account with the username QMULGO, where you can see lots of things that are happening from our current students who are abroad in other places around the world, as well as study abroad students who are with us at Queen Mary doing takeovers of what a day in the life is like at Queen Mary. So please do check that out. And if you have questions about any topic, please reach out to us. We look so forward to meeting you and hope you have a safe journey to campus. Thank you so much.